Some people will also discourage you and say, you know what, are you sure you want to do this? Are you sure you want to wait?
I'm not satisfied. I'm not fully satisfied, and I don't ever want to be.
I don't want to regret anything in life ever.
I do what I do. I do what I love.
Wanted things to be a certain way and they don't go that way. But I think through the years, I think the one thing that I've learned is to be patient and to really believe in yourself. I mean, you can have, amazing people around you telling you different things. Some people really believe in your vision and some people won't. Some people will also discourage you and say, you know what, are you sure you want to do this? Are you sure you want to wait? Are you, why don't you try something else or do something else? I think it's important to be, at least I fortunately had a lot of clarity about what I wanted to do with my life and for myself. And, I've been very patient through all of it. And I'm not someone, I don't give up easily.
You just keep the faith.
Yeah, I keep the faith. I never give up. The minute you tell me that I can't do something, I work that much harder to prove, not to people, but to myself, that I can do it. It can be anything. So every film has its own challenges. But overall, I think there is a perception that the film industry is all glamorous and it's easy and it's, I think a lot of people feel like people in the industry are very privileged. But that's not true. There's a lot of hard work and commitment and dedication and sacrifices that go into being who we are or achieving what we do. It's very easy to, buy a ticket and sit in a theater and watch a movie for 2.5 hours and be entertained or not, and that's totally fair. But there's a lot of hard work that goes into making that possible, which I think only people who are related in the film industry in some way will know the full extent of that.
I'm extremely ambitious. I know exactly what I want to achieve for myself, the kind of films I want to do, the kind of people that I want to work with. And that will always be an ongoing process. Since childhood, I've always known what I've wanted to do. Today, I'm living that dream. But I always say, I'm not satisfied. I'm not fully satisfied, and I don't ever want to be. I want that hunger. I want that motivation to keep me going.
It's a hunger that keeps you going.
Yeah.
Do I appreciate and admire a lot of actresses around me and people who've been around me before? Of course I do. In few films that they've done, or in the performances that they've given, or in the way that they've conducted themselves. Of course I admire them. But I do not want my career to be like anyone else's but my own. Because it's a very, very personal thing, and something that I like, somebody else may not like. So it cannot be, even if I want it to be, it cannot be. And I want to be remembered for my own individual sense of everything, whether it's style, whether it's films, whether it's career graph, whether it's values that you stick by. It has to be your own.
Tendency to be cynical when actors go outside of their country and work. We've seen that happen with actors in the past. There's some people say, what's the big deal? How do you view it? I mean, I know for you, you've been saying all along that it's not like you're moving to the West. It's not like you're ditching Hindi movies and you're going to completely move to the West and become an American actor. Do you see this as as just another exciting kind of stop in the journey?
Yeah, I think you want to keep adding layers to yourself, to your life, to your career. I don't view them as two separate careers anyway. I think that's the biggest mistake people make. I look at it as one long journey with different things that will be thrown at you, different challenges, and how do you make them your own? And I see that people from China, people from Australia, people from England, everyone's done it so successfully. I mean, of course, everyone's choices are individual.
Sure.
And I'm sure different actors have different ways of how they want to maneuver their career and
Correct.
what they want to do with their lives and with their careers. And it's also a huge time commitment.
Sure.
It's not just about being in the movie. It's also it's a huge commitment. But I was willing to go through that.
Yeah.
I was willing to make that commitment. I was willing to tread this path and experience this journey. I don't want to regret anything in life ever. 8 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years down the line.
Say
I
that
don't
the
want to be
opportunity
like,
came, but I
the
didn't.
opportunity came and I wish I did. You know, at least now I know I did. And if it works, great. If not, you know, at least I know I tried.
What does power mean to you, and what freedom does this power afford you?
Nothing. Nothing. It means nothing to me. You know, I do what I do what I love. The money happens to come. It means nothing, you know. And I know so many people, and my own experiences, you can have everything in the world, but if you're not happy, you can do nothing with it, and it really means nothing. So for me, if it's there, it's there. If it's not there, it's not there. It doesn't matter. For me, quality time with my family, you know, going on family vacations, spending quality time with them at home, cooking a meal in my kitchen, spending time with my friends, being creatively satisfied with a film or with a part. Being challenged in that sense,
right.
Going up on stage, receiving a Filmfare Award, these are the things that I really, really value. This makes absolutely no difference.
You know, sacrifices, social sacrifices, sacrificing. I think for me, my biggest sacrifice has been the fact that I don't live with my family. I've had to move away. So of course there are days when, you know, I go home. I miss them. I miss the fact that over a meal, I don't have my parents or my sister to talk to, you know, just talk about what my day was like. Or of course I can do it on the phone, but it's different when, you know, you're face to face. So there are certain sacrifices that one has to make diet-wise. You know, I enjoy eating. I love eating. Thankfully, I'm not someone who, you know, puts on weight easily, but I have a weakness for sweets and chocolates, and I have to control that. So yeah, it comes with its, or in the way that I conduct myself. You know, I think that is also a sacrifice. Sometimes there's a certain way I'd like to be. I also have to realize that I have to be socially responsible.
As actors, as artists, you're constantly looking for challenges, either in the kind of role that you do or in the kind of movie, or like even when I did Cocktail, Cocktail was completely out of my comfort zone. And I think this was the right film for me. I remember being offered, you know, it's public knowledge. Everyone knows
7.
I was offered Furious 7 and we tried so hard to make that work and it didn't. And today when I look back, you know, a part of me is like, it just wasn't meant to be. And so I always feel like there's always a right time for everything. And I think this was just the right time for it to happen.
Right.
And it was the right kind of challenge and in a right way. I mean, of course, the character is exciting, but I've never done this kind of, I've done an action film before, but I've not done this kind of action before. I really don't know what success means to me, but I think for me, to be truly successful is to be at peace with myself and to be happy with every day. I think depression has taught me that. Depression has taught me how fragile my life is or how fragile our lives are, and it's made me value people and emotions and feelings and you know, so for me it's not the material things, it's not the numbers, it's not because there's always more. You can be number one and then you'll still want to keep going at that, or you know, you can be, you know, you can have X amount of money and there's no end to that. So as far as material things are concerned, I think there's no end to it. You'll just, you know, people want more and more and more, and that's human nature. But to be truly at peace with yourself and to be that is success for me. About a year ago, I get a call from Paramount saying, you know, they're casting for this film, and I flew down and I met DJ, my director Caruso. And then Vin found out in LA that I was in Toronto, and so overnight, luckily I had a visa, and he said, I want her to come and see me. So overnight, I flew down from Toronto to Los Angeles to see Vin. And suddenly in the middle of the night, we're doing this 45-minute photo shoot, professional with lights and this and that. And I was like, what is going on? Because I didn't know if I got the part. I still don't know if I got the part. We got into this really serious photo shoot. I don't know if you guys have seen the picture. And that was it.
That picture right there?
That's the one. In his house, yeah.
Yes.
That's the one. And he just put it up. I said, I do hope you know that if you put that picture up, it means I'm doing this movie. He still didn't say anything. He just put it up.
And so when that went up, you got all these calls from your fans and friends congratulating you,
Yes,
right?
and I didn't know what to say to them because I had journalists calling me from India and saying, oh my God, you're doing this movie. And I didn't know what to say. And I was like, I don't even know if that's Vin. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Yeah. But I mean, or they're looking at it going, there's a romance going on. That's what you would get from that as well, which they're, oh, look at that face. Does that mean there is? Because that's what the rumor is.
Well, there's no smoke without fire, you know. And look at that.
So?
But it's all in my head. You know?
It's in his head right there. Okay, you're putting stuff in his head right there.
So yeah, I mean, in my head, I think like we're together and we have this amazing chemistry and we live together and we have these amazing babies. But it's all
okay. Now you just became crazy. I don't know what happened. It first was a crush and now you have babies. I don't know.
Never a crush.